welcome to What Keeps You Up at Night podcast. I'm your host, Kiné, the leading national certified counselor specializing in financial hypnotherapy for stress. Now, this might be a quick episode. It's something I just wanted to talk about because I have been talking to a friend who we were talking about happiness versus peace. So, one of the things that how the conversation started was I talk about happiness and I'm so happy, I'm so happy, I'm so happy. And people equate happiness in me. And my most days, like 350 days out of the year, I'm probably happy. There might be a day or two a month that maybe I'm not. And even if I am not, I still do my best to get there. So I'm probably the anomaly, the outcast or whatever, the outlier when it comes to data. But and I'm not talking about bubbly, I'm just talking about naturally happy and definitely at peace. So a lot of times I believe that peace comes before happiness. And what I notice when I'm working with men is that they're not really looking for happiness. And my marketing used to talk a lot about happiness. And I wondered why I attracted so many women and not enough men. Yeah. And so I learned that, but men are not talking about happiness as much. And I've learned that it seems like it's harder for men to get to happiness than it is for women to. Men don't just wake up happiness. Sometimes happy. Sometimes women, we just wake up happy. We don't even need a reason to be happy. We just ah, hello, son. Ah, we're alive, happy. Men wake up, they're like, I'm alive. All right, fine. What am I supposed to do with this aliveness? And so it's like, oh, I'm so grumpy. And so that is constant. Now you know the guy Ed Milet, and this was years ago. I heard him talking about how he just doesn't wake up happy, but his wife does. And sometimes he feels guilty because he almost takes that happiness away from her because he grumps. And so this going back to this conversation I had, we were saying men don't necessarily wake up happy. Some people, it's harder for them to get to happiness than others. Some people just have an easier time, more propensity for happiness, where others have more of a propensity for negativity or pessimistic, or like some will say reality. But my realities are really happy, really peaceful. So their reality, the reality that they have decided to only look at, is this negative reality, this pessimistic reality, this people are bad reality. There are many bad people in the world, but I will tell you, on a daily basis, I run into more nice, kind, generous, not necessarily happy, but just cordial people than I do grumpy, mean, whatever people. Like, I just run into more nice people. Maybe it's because of what you focus on expanding, you attract into your life who you are, kind of thing. I don't know. But when I smile, I typically get what I want. It's just not hard. I'm just like, hello. And people are like, oh, hello. And then they give me stuff. I went into when we were in Albania, I went into the store to buy a teapot, and this lady, she was just so honored, so happy that I was there. We didn't speak the same language, obviously. I bought the teapot and I told her I needed one bowl, because I did. I just needed one bowl. I was just at a hotel at the time, but I wanted a real bowl. And so, but she sold them in fours. And I was like, I just need one. And she's like, and I was like, oh, okay. And I knew that understood, like, just take it, on me, anything. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And she's like, thank you. And right now it is escaping me. Babe, how do you say thank you in Albanian again? How do you say thank you in Albanian again? Parliamentary. Yeah, it's these things. This is why it's taking me so long to learn French. Parliamentary. So, I was parliamentary and she's like parliamentary, we're thanking each other. And we understand that we don't speak the same language, but she's giving me a gift. I think most people are generous, kind, um, nice than mean, but you will run into some mean people. And then some people just decide that they're going to um amplify the more mean people. So even if they meet 20% mean people, 80% nice people, they only remember the 20%. So this conversation that I had was around how easy or hard it is for men to feel happiness. And because of the work I've done, and what I've learned over the years is that peace comes before happiness. Men are typically looking for more peace and freedom, while women are looking for more happiness, which might be why it takes women longer to find their happiness, because they might be skipping over the peace and the freedom, and they're trying to go straight to happiness, but they didn't do the work to get the peace and the freedom. So the happiness is fleeting. It'll come and it'll go. It'll come and it'll go. And then they'll blame it on the work, or they'll blame it on me because I didn't do my job, whatever that was. But they never take responsibility themselves, but they're not at peace. They don't have any freedom, but they want the happiness. And they think that the happiness is this external stuff, like how their husband treats them, how their children treat them. Do they have enough material things? And if they do, then they're like, okay, I should be happy. Why am I not happy? And it's because you're not at peace, or you don't feel free. And so in this conversation, we were saying that when men ask for something, they're not saying, oh, I just want to be happy. They're saying, oh, just give me peace. And sometimes that might look like isolation. So they think isolation is peace. And this is why they close themselves off, go to their man cave, or whatever, to back to work, because some men just find work as their peace, and it really isn't. It's just away from whatever might be stressing them. A lot of times men are just asking to be able to handle the life they have. Like, just give me enough money to pay all the bills that I have. Just give me enough time to serve all these people that need my time and attention, right? Just give me enough, um, whatever material things to make me feel like whatever it is, weed or alcohol or devices, give me enough of that. As long as I have all of those things, then I will feel somewhat at peace. I'm not necessarily asking for happiness because I don't even know if that exists. I don't even know if I believe in happiness. But what I do believe in is that if I have all the things that I need, I'll just be satisfied and I'll be good. And then once they can grasp that, like once they can get that, but here's the thing, here's what happens. They get the thing and then it raises, right? They had enough weed, they had enough alcohol, they had enough sex, they had enough women, they had enough, they spent enough time with their kids. It was all these external things. They didn't do anything internally. So then it's like, wait, the peace was internal? How am I supposed to get there? I don't have a roadmap for the internal. I have a roadmap for all these external things, but I don't have an internal roadmap. And they think they can do it by themselves, but they can't. And so this is where the barbers come in. So then they go to the barber, who is probably not their friend. Oh, they don't usually don't kick it on the weekends with this guy. Now, sometimes every once in a while, because barbers have friends too, and they cut their friends' hair. But most of the time, their barber is not their friend. And so they go to the barber, they sit in the chair, and they're relaxed. And then sometimes you even see it as the barber. You're like, you'll see them like exhale. And so they exhale. The exhale allows them to say, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. Man, I had this idea and I've been having this idea for a long time and I really want to do, but I can't because I have my kid about to go to college and, this, that, and the other. My wife is always spending money and I can't stop. And then the barber's like, what if? And they just start throwing ideas. First of all, the barber was listening. And that's something that hasn't happened in a while. And second of all, the barber was kind of equally yoked, right? When it came to the wisdom, and they could have this conversation. And even if the barber didn't know everything about what they were talking about, they knew to ask some questions and they had some ideas. What if this, or what if that? Or have you thought about? And then they probably, third thing, give them some insight, something they had not thought about, something they haven't done yet, something they haven't tried. And they're like, I haven't tried that yet. That could work. And now they're thinking, wheels are turning. And even if they don't go home and do anything, the possibility is there and they feel some hope. So maybe the barber didn't heal them and give them, the hypnotherapy to erase the past and the challenges that they've been through, but now they have hope. And that is enough. And that's what I'm teaching is how do you, one, stop doing that for free, because you should be getting paid for giving people, administering hope, which I could do an episode on that, but that's really what the work that I do inside my sessions. But okay, so first, how do you stop doing that? How do you just stop giving people that hope for free? There is a way you can still be yourself. You don't have to be constrained and because it's natural for you. There's a way for you to be yourself and do that. But then there's a higher level. So most people are just going to come for their normal haircut. And I have these 5 questions that you can use over and over and over again that will make them feel heard, that will make them feel seen, that will make them feel like they're getting insight. That sometimes you'll just be quiet and they'll do all the talking, which can be helpful because a lot of times you do too much talking and you tire yourself out and use too much energy. But also, and when I say you, I mean barbers, but also those people who are just the person that everybody goes to. The other thing is what you could do is shift the conversation to something positive. One of the questions you'll see me post about a lot is when was the last time you caught a sunset or a sunrise? What was it like? Tell me about it. And when you shift to that, they'll talk about that sunset or sunrise, but then that's going to kind of go into another conversation, like maybe where they would like to travel or who they were with when they saw that or who they wished was there or what it reminded them of, and how it made them feel. And then just let them go on that. And then if you like, then you can tell them, look, I know you have this, problem, this challenge that you're dealing with. And I'm not saying I have the answers, but I do this thing. And we can go further with this. And so then you can take it to the next level in that next type of service. And also, that service needs to add something more than a haircut. And you might not already have that training or that skill, but that's something that you can add to your repertoire. And it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't mean you have to go back to school. But these are some of the things that we can talk about in our time together. But men, if you're not a barber and you're listening to this, stop putting all that pressure on your barber. Hey, your barber has to get that to that next cut, and they need their energy. They need their energy. So if you really are having problems with your wife, and maybe you want to leave, or maybe you don't want to leave, and you just wish you could make her happy, because there goes that word again. Maybe there's some things that happened to you in your past that you might need to release, and therapy can help you do that. Hypnotherapy, especially because you don't have to do so much talking. And that might be the time that you and I get together. Maybe you override the barber and don't go to the barber and ask them all these questions. Maybe you go straight to somebody like me. For me, it would be I do one session that's short, that I call a virtual retreat. And then I do another session that is a 1-day retreat where we would like really drill down into your wants, your desires, your needs, really get a plan, design a plan. That's what it's called. Called a design day. And we could do that virtually or in person. I much prefer in person, but you would have to come to me for that. And then I do also a 4-day retreat, which is more hypnotherapy involved. It has a lot of different things involved in it, mostly designed by you, the things that light you up, what your favorite stuff, but only healthy. We're not going to be doing the vice thing. You're not going to be destructive. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. This is serious. This is about taking you to your next level, not keeping you down or broke or pain. This is getting you out of that, even if it's just 4 days. But I guarantee you, if you do the 4-day retreat with me, you already have to do the 1 and the 2 that comes together with it. So if you commit to the 4-day, I guarantee you'll feel like a new man. And if you give me that 5 days of your life, it will change. You will change. But I didn't even mean for this episode to be a sales. Sorry. It just kind of happened like that. Anyway, not the point. What did you get from this episode so far? Just tell me in the comments. I just turned on this camera because I knew I needed to talk about this conversation about peace and freedom and happiness. And what's your opinion? I say peace, freedom, happiness in that order. What order do you think they go in? And where are you? Do you have some peace? Do you have some freedom? Do you have any happiness? How much? Answer any of these questions or all of them. It's totally up to you. But that's all for now. And I will see you sooner. Love you muchly.